Hello there everybody, and a very warm welcome to today's video on board this British Airways Airbus A319 for today's flights bound to Funchal on the island of Madeira. Funchal, well known for its really difficult approach and incredible gusting winds and wind shear, crosswind. It's known for it all. So we're taking this BA Airbus A319 today down to Funchal with 124 passengers on board. We are taking 4.9 tons of cargo, so we're quite heavy today. The call sign for today's flight is indeed BA2780, speedbird 2780, and the flight time down to Funchal today is 3 hours and 5 minutes, depending on the weather. Nice tailwind according to PFPX, getting us down there. It's passing hopefully today out of Gatwick on runway 26 left, heading out over Southampton, then down over the Channel Islands, over the Bay of Biscay, then just over northern Spain before then leaving the coast of Portugal to head out over the Atlantic and then down and into Funchal today. The weather down in Funchal at the moment, it looks quite nice to be fair. A few scattered clouds though, and it's 24 degrees on the ground with gusting winds up to 15 knots. So it's not all bad, but it's whether to become, the wind's supposed to die down and the cloud is supposed to get a little bit thicker, but if the wind dies down, it should be a nice flight and a bearable one indeed. So let's get the fuel loaded in, let's get into the flight deck, let's start setting up and let's go from there. So first things first, we will request catering service and then we will go from there. So up front in the left hand seat today is I will be the captain flying this Airbus 319 obviously to Funchal, and it is a captain only airport, and civil signs can now come on. Okay, so init reference page today. Before we do that though, we'll go to the load fuel and load sheet, go to the load sheets and go instant, and that should work like that. Brilliant. Aircraft doors now, wait for catering service to arrive before we open up any of the other doors. Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Lima Papa Mike Alpha, which is Funchal, and obviously this call sign today, or this flight number as well, is speedbird 2780. Brilliant. They have a cost index of 26 and a cruising altitude according to PFPX of 37,000 feet, and we've got a block fuel of 11.7 today. There we go. Okay, so flight plan departing from Gatwick on 26 left, and it's the Southampton 1 X-ray departure. We'll insert that now, just like that, and from Southampton we will be going on the following airways. Just 1 second, I just need to double check this flight plan is okay and valid before we go any further, and indeed it is. Brilliant. Okay, so there's the doors first. The catering vehicle's obviously just arrived. Okay, so from Southampton is Upper November, or UN 621. And after that it's CapEx, but then it's Upper November or UN 63. Up UN 866. To Gobor, and it's Upper November 866 again. That might not go in. They already go in, lovely. To Upper November 866 again. So Upper Mike 30. Sorry, 1 second. That's Upper November 866 to BRAB. Not allowed. Why is it not allowing that? Okay, clear. Insert. Go down to tyre tuck. It will clear that because that is not actually in our flight plan. Gobor, it's Upper November 866 to BRAB. From BRAB is Upper Mike 30 QPR. BRAD, and then Upper Mike 30, and then it's Upper November 866 to Coral. Then from Coral it's direct Dimos, and then sort of a lot of direct, like data on direct. Then down into the island of Madeira, sorry. So from Coral it's direct Demos, direct VRAM, then Lidro, and I believe catering vehicles, catering services is just finished there. Then joining the Lidro departure into Funchal, but we're not going to program that in just yet, as we don't actually know what the arrival runway is. It's programmed to be suggested to be 05, but it's way too soon to call that. Okay, so after for departure, the latest flap 2 with a trim up from 1. Oh no, sorry, trim up 0.8. And that's it. Flex temp 57. That's fine. That's all programmed in like so. I'll click there after departure Southampton. It's up to 6,000 feet. Sorry. And that's all we can really do now before we get our departure clearance, and then we get to go in. Obviously, there's not ATC on stay, so we won't actually be getting a departure clearance. So all that's left for myself to say is we will be back very shortly for our pushback and departure here at London Gatwick. Okay then, so the GSX is just completed. They've lost the jetway, the stairs are just disconnecting, and the cargo is just disconnected. Now we can request our push and start today. There'll be a nose right, a tail left. That will be en route now. The cargo door is just closing. That when that says closed, the doors on the lower ECAM will be able to show us it's shut. Brilliant stuff. It's all closed. That's all done. We're off the ground power, running off APU now. APU bleeds on, the fuel pumps are on. Beacon light can now come on. Ding the cabin crew. And that should be it. We're all ready to rumble, really. Ignition start there. And that is around about it, really. There's not really much else we can do now apart from wait for the pushback tug to connect and get us underway.
We are ready for pushback.
To release the parking brakes, and then we'll go from there. Start sequence today will be starting number 2 first, and then number 1. I've been closed down some of these loose tabs that are no longer required.
Locking gear.
Release the parking brakes.
Line up Madison pushing. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Terrain can come on as well. No, we don't really need the terrain. Probably make more sense to put the weather radar on. There are some storms in the vicinity here at Gatwick today. Oh yeah, there we go, there's the weather radar just coming on, loading up there. So there's some storms heading straight out of 08 right, so we need to take a bit more care. Yeah, this don't look too nice to be fair. Although we'll do a bit of storm dodging on departure, and then we'll go from there. Anyhow, start number 2. Number 2 just starting up. And then wait for number 2 to stabilise, and we'll go from there. And start number 1. Stabilised.
Set parking brakes.
Okay, set the parking brakes. Start number 1. got a long walk to disconnect. Anyway, they can start doing what they need to do. And once the number one stabilise, we'll cut off the ignition, start to normal, start setting up the flaps, do a quick flight controls check, and then go from there. So yeah, it does look like there'll be some weather avoiding to do after departure. You can tell there's a bit of a storm straight up after departure, so we'll try and avoid that as best as possible. No air traffic control online, so we can weather avoid the best of our ability. There's no real restrictions either. Alright, number one should now be stabilised, set flap 2 for departure today. Brilliant stuff. Quick flight controls check. Stand by.
Right is clear.
Flight controls seem to be playing up just a second. So we won't be making a move till the flight controls have fixed themselves. 1 second. There we go, that should be them. In the process, I can go back to normal. APU can come off. Taxi light can come on. Okay, flight controls now. We'll just do a final flight control check. Okay, so full left. There we go, they're working out. Full right, neutral, full up, full down, flight controls. All spoilers, sorry, all okay. Rudder full left, full right, perfect. Release the bunker brake. Here we go. That's perfect. That's fine with me. It's a quick brake check. Yeah, they're working fine anyway. Auto brake to max. TO config there. Spoilers armed. No blue on the UK. Okay. Yeah, that weather really is not looking nice. Hopefully by Midhurst, where it looks like the main thick of it, or just before Midhurst, where the main start of the weather seems to be, hopefully we can climb above it by then. But however, after, if you look out to the right hand side though, we'll just straight ahead of us. There are a lot of clouds scattered around, so it could be quite a departure, quite a bumpy departure. However, that's completely fine with me. Okay. So everything seems to be okay, not really any problems as of yet. However, we've got the cabin crew to sit down very shortly when we approach the holding point, and we'll turn the required lights on, TCAS can then come on, and then we will go from there. Okay then. Nearly there. Okay, so approaching the holding point. Cabin crew, thank you. Seats for departure, please. Seats for departure, thank you. To be fair, we seem like we're all okay just to do a roll on straight away. Nothing on the approach. T-gas is all clear. And lights can now come on. Here we go. Okay then. Start the clock. Okay then. 50%. Stable. And flex, SRS, and runway. And there we go. What's going on with this throttle there? V1 rotates. There we go, up we go. With a recline drop. Have the immersion there off the wing. Okay, so command A engaged at 6,000 feet. Okay, so the weather was, well, straight ahead really. What do we do to avoid that? What's the best way? So we're looking at the best way to avoid the weather instantly. So there's more weather out to the right hand side. So it's now you sort of zoom right out and we're trying to avoid the weather now. So we'll go to 40 mile, we'll go to 20 nautical miles and we'll go from here really. Wait for it to go into climb thrust and we'll do so. Okay, so we'll try and avoid the weather as best as possible. So 220 degrees in the heading. So let's go climb thrust now. There's climb thrust. Oh yeah, this could struggle a little bit here. 220 degrees, trying to avoid the best we can of the weather. We'll go through that to flight level 100 when able. Flap 1. Okay, so if we get out a little bit here, and then we can sort of go head direct to CapEx, we should be okay. So that's flaps up now. We'll just now start climbing at a bit of a higher rate. There we go, there's the start of that big climb now. Hopefully we'll start climbing above it. As soon as we sort of think we've climbed above it, we can sort of straight onto the autopilot and we'll go from there. Sorry, straight onto the direct and go from there. But at the moment, it's just trying to avoid the rest of the weather, the best of the weather. Try to avoid the best we can of the weather. Just enjoy it, it's play to us. Yeah, a little bit of the, it's like going along a river. This middle of the river's, like, let's say we're going for a river right now. We're in the middle of the river, and when you go to the outskirts of the river, it can get a little bit choppy, so that's the sort of way we're looking at it right now. However, you can still get little ripples in the middle, so it could get a little bit bumpy at times, but apart from that, it looks like we're just about to start clearing it, or start breaking through these clouds. However, we'll now go 240 on the heading, and we'll try our best from there, really. Just to try and avoid the most of this weather, obviously, but mainly the passenger comfort. Reach the cabin crew. Lovely view at the left hand side of the aircraft there. We'll be alright going direct to Capex. I reckon we'll be okay going direct Capex now. So direct Capex, insert that, and then recycle to the climb of 37,000 feet. And then in we go, just like that. Lovely jubbly. So there we have it. It's at the pass flight level 100 as well. So lights can come as required, or in cases the LM at the bottom, they can turn off and lights off. Take the taxi lights off. Strobe down to auto, and we won't release the cabin crew just. Sorry, we won't release the passengers from the seat just yet until we know we're definitely clearing this weather. Anyway, there we have it. There's our departure out of Gatwick, bound to Funchal today. All clearly left for myself to say is we'll be back in around about 2.5 hours to 3 hours for our landing into Funchal. So then, hello everybody, and a very warm welcome on board this approach into Funchal today. Now, winds have been varying. There's quite a bit of extensive cloud cover in the vicinity, but we should be all okay to commence our approach into Funchal. So I'll talk you through what's going on. We've obviously programmed the MCDU up for our approach, and everything is as required there. We're going to take the approach phase now. We're going in for a VOR, or actually to the RNAV approach. However, very shortly we will be disengaging the autopilot and we will be bringing it down manually. So we need to get down to about 3,000 feet now. We're going to bring that speed back to about 210 knots. Then we get to a nice stable sort of position just before we commence our right-hand turn. I will then lose the autopilot and we'll bring it in manually. But anyway, we're going to flap 1 now. So there's flap 1. We're at 7,000 feet. Yeah, we could be a little bit higher, but everything is actually okay. The airport's just down there, so if any, in all honesty, to be fair, we're actually a little bit higher than we are at the moment. And obviously the only things that we can do is lose the speed and try and make that up as best as possible. Obviously we've got the speed brake out, we're trying to knock back speed and lose altitude at the same time, so it is a little bit sort of, they're contradicting each other in a way, and it's quite difficult. Anyway, we set local QNH now, 1020, because we're cleared down to 3,000 feet, so we'll go from there really. And we'll go flap 2 now. Can't actually see the airfield outside the right hand side simply because the cloud, but it should be okay. The clouds should vanish around about 1,800 to 2,000 feet. So once we get below that altitude, we should be okay in cloud free. Winds were gusting earlier up to 30 knots. At the moment, they're only at 12 knots, so we should be safe and sound and okay to land. There's the airfield, or the aerodrome, so that's on the right hand side there. Aerosoft scenery being used, and once you get break through the clouds, you'll be able to see that extensive runway extension they have actually had here in Funchal, but the cloud isn't allowing that to happen. There you go, should be able to see it now. There you go, there's the extension. Just there. Just make it out. There it is. Anyhow, so we're back now to 160 knots. So we're looking for the banana sheds. So on this approach, you look for the banana sheds, which are actually can't, or to be fair, can't actually be seen because it's quite cloudy. But there's one of them, I believe. No. That is not true. Okay, so we can't actually see the banana sheds because it is too cloudy or it's too hazy. So in this case, we're just going to follow the display and we'll go from there. Okay, so I just wanted to go at 3,000 feet, down to 2,000 now. We'll knock back to our final approach speed, lose the speed brake, arm the speed brake, go flap 3. process, we'll go gear down. And happy goes flat full. Okay, so when we hit 2,000 feet, I'll lose the autopilot and I'll bring it around manually.
2,500.
2,500 feet. We'll hit the minimums very shortly as well. Okay, so we'll lose the autopilot now. And we'll bring it in. Lose flight director as well.
100 above.
There's the minimums, so landing. Just the nose up, don't want to lose too much altitude. And Funchal is just out to our right hand side somewhere. Okay. We are struggling just to see the runway. Anyway, we'll set the go around altitude with this approach 5,000 feet, I believe. I believe it is. If I am incorrect, please let me know. So the wind is 12 knots. We do have, in fact, gusting around at 26, I believe. Oh, sorry, earlier it was 12 knots, gusting 26. Right, there's the approach light. It's now on the mountain, so we'll be able to see them. Okay, so we'll extend our descent down to 1,500 feet. In fact, I think we're fine as we are, actually. There's the banana shed just there. That was the shed we saw earlier, which is a little bit misty, so I think that's confirmed it was the banana shed. There's a boat there, which is also quite nice indeed. Okay. Yet to get that runway inside, which is a bit of a pain, because in all honesty, it would be a lot more helpful if we could see the runway. Anyway, now this is where we will bring the aircraft down now. Okay then, so here we go. Banana sheds, there's the bridge. Two red, two white at the moment, if not 3 white now, so we are a little bit high. Bring our altitude down a little bit, 2 red, 2 white, perfect.
$1,000.
Now here we go, battle with the wind, bang on 14 knot headwind at the moment.
$500.
Stop the right hand turn. Following the lights in.
400. 500. 500. 500. 400.
Here we go, perfect.
500.
13 knots crosswind now.
400.
So the headwind is there, just become the crosswind.
300.
Battle now, they're getting thrown around a little bit. Really feel the aircraft struggling.
160, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
And this is where it becomes the wind shear. Get it down, gotta get it down.
5,
Gotta get it down. There we go, we're down. There we go, not really on the centre line that well, but there's a reverse green. Peace out. And we've made it perfectly. So there we have it. Funchal. Completed it. Don't know how. That went quite well actually. Started view. So okay then. We are in fact now okay to clean up. Stay in the cockpit now so we don't lose that centre line. According to GSX there is no parking available at this airport, so that is something I wanted to look into to fix. So there we have it though. T-gas can also come off now. APU bleed on. Pull down the cabin. And we'll turn the taxi lights off now if you pull onto stand Alpha 13. Which was the stand the Real British Airways flight yesterday used. I was looking at yesterday's flight information, not today, because today is actually in the air as we speak. Can we also get the perfect? There we go. Couldn't be much better. Okay, so shutdown number 2. Shutdown number 1. And we'll go straight on to APU, which we have done. There we go. Open the shutdown. Ladies and gentlemen, Funchal, cabin cruising, I should start the doors for arrival. Signal signs are off. Excuse me. Fuel pumps are also off now, and the big light can come off, which does imply, and there is no restart GSX to see if it will pick anything up at this airport, but I don't believe it will. Worst case scenario, we'll just have to leave the aircraft as it is on the exterior, and we'll just go from there. Anyway, ground services will go wheel chocks now and traffic cones, and external power GPU can also come on, so we'll lose the parking brake. And the landing rate was -99, guys. There we go, -99 the landing there. They got thrown off guard a little bit, and now we can stop the clock. 3 hours, 22 minutes today's flight time. So it was about 5-10 minutes over, and that's because the unscheduled, or the headwind that we got, which was not actually planned for. But the weather was also, or the weather was kind of planned for, I suppose it's fair to say, because it was variable, picked up a little bit, and it died down a little bit, so that's what was planned. So there we go then, guys. Doesn't look like GSX is going to want to load for us, but we've made it to Funchal Airport here, out on the island of Madeira. It's been an absolutely incredible flight. Please, you could join me on board this British Airways Airbus A319 today. It's been an absolute pleasure once again to have you on board. Thank you ever so much, and please do like and subscribe. And if you want any flights done, I'm really going to start putting more flight sim content back on the channel. So be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you very much.